Hey, welcome back to Talon's Oasis here. We're at Pumpkin Panic. Oh man, I'm gonna die to this guy. This is our aim trainer. It's where I practice my aim, and apparently I need a lot of practice. But today I want to upgrade this mini game, partially because it is pumpkin harvest time and this is our only pumpkin area, but also to answer a very specific question. What is my preferred fighting style? You know, there's a lot of weapons in Minecraft that you can use that are very different from each other. I don't know, maybe you've wondered this question about yourself, but I don't know the answer. You might think I'm joking with the little like arrow that's on my skin and stuff, but I'm serious. I actually don't know which I prefer the most. I usually just default to using the sword and running around with that. But really, I haven't given any of the other weapons a fair chance, you know? So I was thinking we could create 3 separate upgrade paths, or however many, and then depending on what we do in the game, it'll auto put us into one of those paths. And then not only will we be able to see which path I prefer, but we could also get practice on the ones that I'm weaker at, right? But that means we're really gonna have to overhaul this system though, because we get basically a sword equivalent, a bow equivalent, and we get basic armor and some basic food. Nothing, you know, unique. Okay, hopefully this works. I added in the weapons once we get to 7. Oh, it keeps going. It doesn't stop. Well, I guess that's kind of a good representation. So we have the trident. We have mace and wind charges. I was trying to think like what would be the most effective version of it, and then we got sword and shield as well. So for example, the mace has wind charges, because you need height to actually use it, right? And accuracy. And so we can exaggerate each class's strengths, and that way, oops, we can get an idea for which one we like the best. Because you can play along with me, you know? If you're like, oh, this class looks like the most fun, because we are kind of making a class system. And you might end up learning as much about your own preferred fighting style as I'm hoping to learn about mine. So currently, the game has 3 upgrade paths here: enchantments, gear upgrades, and durability, none of which work with our new setup. So we need to think about like how these are going to integrate, like gear upgrades. So for the sword path, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. We can just go from like copper to iron. Well, definitely thought that was turning into an iron sword. I thought that was all good to go. Maybe it's not going to be so simple. So this is the line that runs the sword upgrades. You can see, yeah, this is the one that gives us the iron sword. Thing is, it only gives us the iron sword if we have this tag that it gives us at the beginning of the game. But it's been removing that tag, which only gets removed at the end game line. But the end game line only gets removed, or rather triggered, if a scoreboard gets set to stop, and I can't find what command block sets it to stop. This is the problem with restructuring. Honestly, this thing was kind of hacked together before, and now it's coming to bite me in the back. Oh, it just runs by itself. That's clever, I guess. Death count. So once we die... Okay, see, that's weird because it is stopping under different conditions. More testing. So I have a bunch of say things running, and that tells me everything up until here is running correctly, because we have the say command here, and then we have all the same checks as what sends the signal to the sword line. But then for some reason the sword line isn't running. So now what we'll try is running this manually. It won't do anything right now. Okay, so let's just run it again. And then it works. What? It's not turning that command block on. That's what's happening. Oops, I broke my sword. Am I crazy? This should definitely work. Oh my goodness. I figured it out. Oh, this is such a force of habit. I always do @S so that it's running at the player's location, because most of the time if you're executing as the player, you want to, you know, run from where they are. But here we're doing relative coordinates. Oh my goodness, it's going to work now. I've been troubleshooting for so long. I'm not joking. Like, I know that seems like, oh, that should be obvious. How did he miss that? Oh, it's the stuff that you get used to that you never see, you know? When you've seen it 1,000 times, it's like it's not even there. Okay, I was going through every other part. I was like doing the checks, looking at the tags, but never looking at the @s. Wow. Oh my goodness. Watch it work perfectly. Oh, look at that. Wow, magic. We can move on finally. Oh my goodness. Like I was saying at the very beginning of this, I thought that the sword would be easy for an upgrade path because we could just go copper, iron, diamond, netherite. But the mace doesn't have as obvious of an upgrade path, right? There's no like second tier mace or anything. And we already have one that covers enchantments. Maybe we could try giving feather falling? Oh, you do take damage if you miss. Okay. Oh, whoops. So now we gotta decide, what do we want to do about the ranged one? So I've kind of combined trident and bow together. So that way you do still have a melee weapon if you need it, but like its primary use is range. So on one hand, we could maybe upgrade the bow into like a crossbow. But a crossbow is almost a separate fighting style. And in fact, I was thinking about maybe combining crossbow and regular bow. Maybe we could use the arrows as the upgrade path. So like we could have tipped arrows. Okay, all 3 lines are added, plus the armor line that's just for every class or every path. And I'm running out of command blocks here, but we'll go ahead and try it. So right now, it gives us a random class at the beginning. Nice, we actually get ammo this time. And so we can kind of just try these out and see what we like. Ooh. Oh dear. Easy, first try. And we can try out the upgrade paths here. Oh yeah, okay, so we get the arrow of slowness. We have to put it in our offhand to use it. But this way... Oh no. Oh no. I don't know. I don't know if bow is gonna end up my fighting style. But yeah, that slows him down a little bit. We could use strong slowness if we needed to, but we want it to really feel like an upgrade, so we don't want like the best one first. And then just to try out the upgrades, I did die, so... Oh, it didn't reset my progress. Interesting. Well, anyway, tier 2 is poison arrows, which are better on higher health enemies. But the damage is slow. And once the hordes start building up, the poison is only going to help so much, you know? But then the final tier for bow is the harming arrows. All right, time to try out the mace. Wow, that's terrible. It's funny, with the bow, I felt a lot more confident with the magma slimes. I guess I could just kind of poke him like that. That'd probably be the smart way to go. All right, let's upgrade and see if we get feather falling 1. Yeah, okay, so that should protect us a little bit. I will say I do enjoy the challenge of like trying to hit them in the air. It's like way harder, but you can do so much more damage. Did I hit? I think I hit 2 of them, wow. Now let's try again. Oh man. It's like 3 separate skills. Oh yeah, I died just from using the mace and missing. I will say there is a level of comfort in just having a sword. Like, whether it's my preferred fighting style, I don't know, but it's definitely the one that I've used the most. But I do miss like the one shot of the mace. That is very, very strong. I haven't really been using the shield. Oh, wait, I might have made it so that they can break shields. I forgot. We might have to change their weapons a little bit. Got him. Ooh, can I get a diamond sword? Nope. Oh, because it upgrades the armor. It's supposed to do that. That's right. It alternates between gear and then armor. Oh dear. This is where it becomes an issue. This is where it's really nice having a bow. There is this like weaker bow, but we have less arrows. I mean, I feel like you can see just my level of comfort with the sword. Oh, that's tricky. The bow is so nice and safe. The mace just like one-shots things. The sword, you're kind of like brawling constantly, which is sort of fun, but also it's kind of weak. Well, I have a couple more cool ideas to add, but I'm out of command blocks. I really hope we have some redstone blocks at home. Come on. Oh, we got a lot. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, and a ton of terracotta. Easy. Now, before we add all that new stuff, you may have noticed that we have pumpkin heads on everything except for the phantoms. We got little pumpkin helmets on the zombies. We even have pumpkin helmets on the magma cubes. And that's actually not a helmet, it's a block display. But phantoms are kind of weird. You see, phantoms don't face the way they're supposed to. You see, it looks like he's looking up, right? Wrong. He's looking down. It's completely inverted. It's very goofy. And so that makes it hard to match the block display up to the phantom. But using execute store, we can get the rotation, flip it around, and then put that into the pumpkin so that it's kind of facing the same way as the phantom. There's more problems though. If we do an extreme rotation on the phantom. Ah, yes, there we go. And then we try and match. Uh-oh. Something weird happens. And that is because well, actually, let me turn this back on. The center of the hitbox is right there, but the phantom is like squished up against the back of the hitbox. So the pumpkin is in the correct location. The phantom, though, is in the wrong one. And we have to copy the wrong location. So it's like, oh, how are we supposed to do this? Okay, so here's an idea. We can move this block display up or down if we use this command. Let's change it to just 0. And it moves it up. But if we have it get that data from the rotation, basically just the same thing we're doing here, and then maybe we could change the scale. Let's try half for now. And let's just see what this does. Oops. Maybe we need some zeros in here. Oh, there it's back. Okay. That's not terrible. We could adjust the back and forth with the same reasoning too, but let's rotate him. There we go. He's facing straight up. Let's see how this works. Oh, still kind of off. Oh, as you can see on the right side of the screen, we have some math happening now. If I rotate him any direction though, it calculates correctly where to put the block display. You can see we have quite a few command blocks just for one phantom, but it should work for all of them. And it's really cool. Basically, we had to add the number from earlier to the offset that I set when spawning them in right here. But that seems to do the trick. Cool. Okay, let's just confirm the phantom thing works. I really want to see it like in action. So we need a phantom to spawn. Oh, there it is. It's a little glitchy looking. But then again, so is the magma cube one. That might be as good as we can do. It sticks to his head pretty good though, that's for sure. Okay, so now we can talk, about consumables. So for the upgrades, the enchantments we don't have to worry about. We have the gear sorted, and then we have this third one, durability. Now durability by itself isn't actually very exciting, so we also get like extra arrows. And so that way you have to choose between stronger weapons or more ammo. But if you're using the mace, do you really need ammo? I mean, I guess you kind of need wind charges, but I was thinking, what if we have like some potion effects that go along with each one? Okay, I added a whole copper line now. It's quite long. We're using up all the command blocks. But we should be able to try this out now. Okay, so we need an upgrade. Once we hit 5, we get an upgrade. And if we eat this, it works. Yes, it does. Okay, so number 1, we get arrows because every class does get at least a basic bow. Only the bow class can get like better bows. But then for the sword class, we get a golden apple. I thought about like potions of regeneration and stuff, but they seem too strong. And because the sword guy wants to like brawl, it seemed to make sense to give, you know, a little bit of extra absorption health. And then for the bow and arrow, obviously we get arrows, but we also get a splash potion of swiftness, so it's much easier to get away from enemies and create distance that we need to make our shots. For the mace, we get something pretty useful here. If we eat this, we get more wind charges, which didn't stack. Oops. But the really good thing is we get jump boost 2. And if you combine that, yeah, look at how high that goes. So it's easier to get extra height. And therefore, oh, extra damage. Oh boy. So now we have full on vanilla accurate, oh, so close. Vanilla accurate kits, so we can properly compare this to fighting styles. Oh, by the way, I found out I did actually need to change the enchantments. So now they're item specific. Ooh, we got wind burst, that's pretty good. But I want to add one more thing that we're going to use to determine which fighting style I prefer. And that is a system that based on the actions we do in the game, like say if we shoot an arrow, or I mean a bow a few times, then it will give us the bow and arrow kit. Maybe if we're close to an enemy for a long time, we get the sword kit. But ultimately, our actions should be what decide which kit it gives us. Okay, there's the arrow check. It only passes if you've used up a lot of your arrows, which is a pretty good indicator that you want to be the arrow or the bow class, right? We need a default so that we always at least get one kit. So the sword will probably be the default. So that just leaves the mace. What does the mace player want to do that's different than what the sword player would do? Well, one thing's for sure. If the player blocks, then they're probably not thinking about maces. And that actually, I think, highlights a key difference between the sword and the mace. The sword is really more defensive, while the mace is more aggressive. If you miss your shot, like, uh-oh, you don't really have anything you can do. Like, if the fight goes longer, you're kind of in trouble unless you get your perfect hit off. But I don't think it can be as simple as who attacks more versus who takes more damage. A good sword and mace player might be able to take no damage. And I don't think it'd be enough to check between like regular hits versus crit hits. Because again, a good sword player might be able to get a bunch of crits. You know, I think sword players want combos. If you're like kind of closer to spam clicking, then that might be indicative of you preferring that playstyle. So maybe we could check for like time between attacks. Okay, we have a working combo system, I believe, but we need to check. So everything's good for the final test. Let's get some combos. Oh, I missed. Are you serious? This time. Yeah, okay, so it shows up as one combo. And then if a long time passes in between, this hit shouldn't cause a combo. It doesn't, and then this one should. Yeah. Okay. So we can base it off of the number of combos. Maybe 4 is a decent one. Okay. Everything is ready. So as soon as we click this button, we can find out what my preferred fighting style is. I'm going to try and just focus on the game and not think about the details, and hopefully we'll get as accurate a result as possible. But we will count in like how comfortable I feel with it, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, here we go. Come on, zombie, take me on. Oh my goodness, I can't hit. What's the fighting style for can't aim? I guess that would be a crossbow and fireworks, huh? Okay, as soon as our kills hit 5, hopefully I don't die. Man, I already got to eat the pumpkin pie. But as soon as we hit 5, we'll get our combo. Mace? Really? Alright, let's try that. Ugh. Oh, what? That didn't count. Oh dear. You know, I can't deny it. Off camera, like when when I'm doing the mace and like testing things, that is usually the class that makes me smile the most. Mostly because I'm missing, but here, let's go 2 for 2. All right, what do we get for the second round? The mace again. I wonder if I put the combo too high. I put it at 5, but there's only like a chance to do like a 3 or 4 combo really, unless you're spam clicking. But maybe that's the point. Well, let's try and get this guy. Oh, come on. I think it's safe to say that the mace is not my most natural playstyle. But maybe it's a playstyle I should get used to, you know? But you know what I think is the most telling? Is the fact that I missed the sword when I didn't have it. I was like, oh, I got the mace. And I think it's more than comfort, because if you look at how I've been fighting, I don't usually go for a block. But I do usually go for combos. There's a saying, you don't know how much you like something until it's gone, you know? And I think that really clinches it for me. I'm definitely going to be trying out the mace more. And I always enjoy bow practice here and there. But my favorite fighting style is the sword. But tell me your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that I picked accurately, or do you think that I should have stuck with the mace? Oh my goodness. Oh, I haven't done my upgrades. And feel free to tell me what your fighting style is. Maybe there's something else that we didn't even do in this video that you think is the best thing ever, you know? In particular, I think traps probably could be a whole fighting style by itself, you know, TNT, flint and steel, that kind of thing. Oh, there it is. Hey, that was my best run of the day. 32. All right. Not too shabby. Well, there you have it. That was a pretty fun addition to this game. I really like the different paths, and it lets me practice the vanilla stuff. So it's definitely an improvement over just pure aim training. So that's cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. See you in the next one. Later. Oh no! Bye!